Hello, my name is Chris Ikpekurede. I'm an engineer and a writer, publisher of a number of books, and an elder of the Church of Christ. I welcome you today again to my YouTube channel. Today is the 26th day of May 2023. Just 3 days to the day that President-elect Tinubu should be inaugurated, sworn in as president. Just 3 days. Now, on this 26th day of May, two court events took place. Now, both court events were meant to stop the inauguration of Tinubu as president come 29th of May. Now, these court events have been making me laugh since morning. I just laugh. Very, very amusing. Now, the first one is PDP's court case against Tinubu and Shettima, a case that was brought to a federal high court back in July 2022 to disqualify Tinubu and Shettima because of Shettima's double ticket nomination. Now, that case was treated at the Federal High Court, and Atiku and PDP were told they did not have a locus to bring the matter. So they lost the case at the first-tier court. They appealed against the decision. They lost it again. And then on the 26th of May, today, the matter was finally brought to the Supreme Court for adjudication. Again, Atiku and PDP lost the case because they do not have local standing. What has happened? What has happened is that the double nomination saga involving Shettima was an internal party matter of the APC. The courts held that Atiku and the PDP had nothing to do with the matter. It was a pure pre-election matter that did not affect the fortunes of Atiku in any way. So, in fact, as we awaited the decision of the Supreme Court today, those of us who understand the law knew that Atiku did not have any case. So it didn't come to us as a surprise. Interestingly, the courts were not on any conference on this day that the ruling took place at the Supreme Court. Now, jump to case number 2. This is the case that citizens of Abuja brought to an Abuja High Court on the issue of the 25% of votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory. The matter brought to the court is simply this: that the Abuja people have a right for the issue of the 25% to be resolved, because they have a right as to who becomes a kind of ruler or governor over them in Abuja. Now, the 25% matter, of course, is also in Peter Obi's petition before the election tribunal. Now, the matter has gone on, and the judge at the High Court fixed Wednesday, 2 days ago, to make a ruling on this 25% matter. When Wednesday reached now, judge say the court, they attend conference. They're not going to make ruling. So they adjourned the ruling to Friday, 26th of May. And so the litigants and their counsel went to court on the 26th, that is Friday, for the ruling to be made by the court. Guess what happened? The judge of the court, he take off. He run. He run because the case had them to judge. He no go fit make a ruling wey go stop the inauguration of Tinubu just 3 days away. So he ran. These people got to court and they were told that, oh, the court still there for conference. So the ruling, what they plan for today, not going to happen again. Do you see how our country has been reduced to a banana republic? Do you see how our country has been reduced to a laughing stock? Things don't spoil so judge they run from court. I have never heard this before. So since morning, I have just been laughing. It's a very, very amusing thing. When it favors APC and Tinubu, no conference by the court. When it is not going to favor them, court go conference. Who is deceiving who in this country? Now, by the way, the Bible says an evil man runs when nobody is pursuing him. When nobody is pursuing him. The judge may have run today, but the judiciary will not escape in this matter of the 25% of the votes in Abuja and this disqualification of Shetima. Because whereas Atiku did not have a local standard to bring the matter, which was classically a pre-election matter, after the election, Peter Obi has brought the matter of the double nomination of Shetima as part of his appeal before the election tribunal. So the judges can't run away from the matter because this time around, Peter Obi has locus in this matter. So let's all be calm. Just watch this video of the Council of the Abuja Citizens today at the High Court. Watch.
Well, we were here on Wednesday. The court gave us Wednesday as a day to come for our ruling. And then we were given the same information that the court was attending a conference and that the ruling had been adjourned to today. So I take it that at the time they were adjourning to today, they already knew that they would be out of whatever conference they were going to have. So we're here back today, and they are giving us the same excuse of the court attending a conference. We don't think that that is a fair way to treat us. You see, this thing, everybody has rights. I think the impression that as litigants, as people who approach the court, we have no rights. We are absolutely at the mercy of the system. It's a very wrong one. Respect begets respect. You have to respect me as a litigant, then I will respect you as the judex. So if the court, what we see is that we have not been fairly treated. I have been in Abuja for how long now? Nobody has asked me about my hotel bills. I practice from Lagos. If he wasn't going to say it, he should have told me. He should have told me on Wednesday, I'll be back in my chambers in Lagos now. But he asked me to come back today, only to get the same excuse. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And as far as I'm concerned, we're, by the grace of God, going to do something about it. In the sense that I think we need to sue. We need to bring it before the court so that it will be examined. What we have lost, the rights that we sought is to restrain this swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal. That's right. So who is going to pay for that? If you came and gave a ruling that we don't have a right, it would be understandable. Now you're seemingly staying away from the court. Makes me understand that we have a right, but for one reason or the other, you cannot find the courage to declare that right. So you are now trying to use absence from the court as a means of depriving me of that right. So I'm going to sue, you're going to pay. You will pay for it. You pay for it. You are going to tell me why you left the court. And we will fight it to Supreme Court. And maybe we will establish as a precedent that Nigerians ought not to be treated in this fashion.
That's right.
With all due respect to the learned Judex, for whom I have the greatest respect, but like I said, this ruling, it will not take 2 minutes.
That's right.
It will not take 2 minutes to deliver the ruling and then get back to any conference that is attending. So what I want to say, I have said it, I have written to all the security agencies, I have written to major embassies, I've written to the American embassy, I've written to the British embassy, I've written to the French embassy, German embassy, and I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It would have been better that to resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing belongs to me, decision belongs to the court. You understand? So, you cannot make the mistake of installing somebody unconstitutionally. It's an overthrow of the Constitution. That person, now if you read section 1, subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says, no person or group of persons shall be permitted to take control of the federal government or any part of it, take control of federation or any part of it, except in accordance with the Constitution. That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in.
That's right. Yes.
Contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian, in every station of life,
Yes.
wherever he is,
That's right.
that is an order from the Constitution to that person to resist whoever is sworn in unconstitutionally. So it must be that those who want to do this swearing in have conspired against democracy.
That's right.
And want to overthrow it.
Yes.
The Constitution says, section 14, subsection 2A, that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria.
That's right.
And they give consent to those who govern through the Constitution. So when you do not observe the Constitution, it means that you do not have the consent of the people to rule. The people have a right to say, we are not going to recognize you or acknowledge you. What is coming to Nigeria is what these people, they are behaving like children. As far as I'm concerned, they are behaving like children. We all saw Shoneko here. Somebody went with a decree or word of mouth, made somebody president and commander-in-chief. A court, it took just one declaration from a court, and it was gone. It's the same thing that the same thing that we are getting into. Any court in Nigeria is invested with authority to interpret the Constitution and can say that the person who calls himself president was not duly elected and therefore cannot answer that title and cannot give any instructions that should be obeyed. And that will be the beginning of crisis. We have warned against this. I don't know what is making them behave, think that it's a joke. I don't know how you will take 200 million Nigerians as a joke. It's not going to happen. The Constitution says you go and have a second election. But you feel too big. Like I was explaining to someone, it's the same in discipline. Where you have red light, say stop.
That's right.
You feel too big. Because you are driving your Jeep, you don't stop. It's the same thing. It is the indiscipline in us that we have carried over to this exercise. The Constitution says you've not made it. You've not made 25% in Abuja. Nobody has told me that I'm wrong. There is no constitution. There is no court. I came to this court for the court to tell me that I'm wrong.
That's right.
Rather than telling me I'm wrong, the court, stays away from court.
Mutes.
The court cannot even look me in the eye. So nobody has told me I'm wrong. Nobody has the courage to tell me I'm wrong. Because I am right. So the constitution says you should go for a second election. It's a simple, very simple thing. Even if that second election does not produce a winner, you go for a third one.
That's right.
You feel too big to comply with the constitution. Because all your life has been a life of indiscipline.
You see, well, the time has come for justice to be done to our electoral system in Nigeria. They may swear in Tinubu on the 29th. The judiciary has connived one way or the other with INEC and the present federal government to swear in Tinubu. But let me tell you, Tinubu may be sworn in on the 29th. But he is another Shonikon in the making. Shonikon was brought into the presidency in circumstances like this. The man not last past 2 months and a couple of weeks. He not even reach 3 months. That is exactly what we are going to see. Let them swear the man in. The proceedings in court will go on. The critical questions concerning how the elections were conducted, concerning the 25% of votes from the FCT, concerning the disqualification of Shetima, they will be answered. The tribunal can't run away from the questions. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Deliverance is coming for Nigeria. See you soon.